أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. We are still with the book of الإمام ابن الجوزي رحمه الله تعالى, the book of spiritual medicine, spiritual healing, الطب الروحاني. The third section here, we make 30 sections. So third section here, first section was about intellect, what it is. The second one was about hawa, desire, what it was. And today is the difference between what the intellect leads to and what desire leads to. Desire leads to fulfill the lust without thinking about repercussions. Okay? And once the person is taken over by his or her lust, they don't think. That's why, as Muslims, we are asked to have the structure first, think about things first, before you say and before you do. Because once a person is engulfed with their lust, it's very hard to get out. They need some external factors to stop him or her. But internal only works when you're about to do, before you do things. When the wife of Al-Aziz was engulfed by her lust, she wanted to seduce Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. But he has his core value present at all times. Of course, Allah Azza wa Jal protects his prophets and they're infallible from falling into this lustful and haram act. Lustful and haram act, yeah. But as a human being, his core values were so clear to him. So whenever he's presented with a situation that normally a person becomes less resistant to or weak, then the core values drive, then a person steps back out of fear, can control themselves. But if the person is engulfed by their lust and desire at all times, there's no core values here. They just go beyond what makes them feel good or assume to make them feel good. I think being in that place will make me happy. So now you're blinded, you're deafened. You cannot think about anything except getting to the place that you assume that it will make you happy. Whether it makes you happy or not, but this is what desire leads a person to. And this is like animals. But there's a difference here between humans and animals. Because humans, sometimes they know what is the repercussion. They do. Like a person is engulfed by his lust or by her lust, and they're going to do haram. They don't want to be exposed because, knowing that being exposed is a scandal, is a problem. So they try to hide. So they actually know what it leads to. They know the danger of it. They know what are the repercussions. They know what are the ramifications of that. They do. And that's what they're hiding. That's what they're planning. They're strategizing. Yeah, they're engulfed by their desires. But still they have some intellect that they are using to fulfill the desire here. So aql is there, but it's not used properly. It's like a thief using their intelligence to steal. If you use the same intelligence to make money in a halal business way, you are going to. It might be harder, it might be longer, but if you are that smart to steal without being caught, you are actually good to do business. If a person is that smart to strategize and do haram hidden, that means this person can do halal easily. You see? So, yeah, if a person is so smart to hide the truth from people, actually saying the truth is easy. But they don't want to deal with the repercussions. I mean, they don't deal with the positive results because they're going to lose. They want to fulfill their desire. So that's what desire does. That's what desire leads to. That's why they say a person should honor himself or herself by what Allah honored him or her with. A person, me and you, should honor ourselves by staying where Allah honored us to stay in. That stage where your mind drives, when your intellect works first. Allah honored us with that. So if you come below that, you are not in the protection of Allah now. It's up to you now to do, and you lose. But Allah said, I give you intellect, and as long as you are using it before you are engulfed in your lust and desire, you are using it before your desire takes over, you are going to stay honored. So that's what a lucky person or a good, fortunate person by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that who start thinking about their question using their intellect. So Ibn al-Jawzi said that the example of desire, it is like a child, immature child, or it is like a person who have a what you call open appetite, propensity, or proclivity for something that they cannot resist, lust for something. They're sick. They have diabetes, they have high blood pressure, they have problems, and they're eating the sugar, high sugar, they're eating high salt. They're not exercising, they're not doing anything, and they're seeing themselves like, deteriorating, yet they cannot stop. Why? Because they are enslaved to their desire. Whatever they have the need for or they want, they cannot stop themselves. And that's why you have to pray on time. You have to fast. Prevent yourself from eating while you can, while it is not haram for you to eat. It's not like Ramadan. You pray nafil. Those acts not only get you closer to Allah, but actually trains you to self-control. Think about it. When you wake up in the middle of the night just to pray 2 rak'ah and go back to sleep again, that's self-control. That means I am able to control myself from having this sweet sleep, that sweet time. I'm fasting. This is hot, I'm thirsty, but I'm going to fast because I want to control myself. So if myself desires something, I say, you know what? I was able to do everything halal, was no issue, no problem. I'm eating moderately, I'm going to eat good, but yet I prevented myself from eating. So besides it is an act for Allah Azza wa Jal, it is an act of self-control. I wanted to think about that. That is why when a person is lustful, that means they are not acting on those restraints, self-control and forbearance. Those acts, they're for a hikmah. Allah give us to control ourselves. Control ourselves. That's why people exercise, just for health and wellness. Some people exercise for muscles. Some people exercise for fitness. Some people exercise for, endurance. Some people exercise for championship. Yeah, but everybody exercises at the end of the day. It's a level of self-control, and they become so addicted to the good thing that they cannot give it up. Like the other people are addicted to wrong things. Same thing in the spiritual arena. When a person finds the conflict, you say sometimes, my heart is telling me this, my mind is telling me this. It's actually your desire is telling you something and your intellect is telling you something. It's not about the heart. It is about like your emotions. That's your desire. That means it doesn't make sense. It's not rational. It's not rational. So when you see that, then you have to weigh things. Yeah, your feelings are right. Your feelings are respected. Feeling cannot be ignored or overlooked. But they cannot be the sole, final decision maker. You have to use some rationale. You have to ask people of knowledge. You have to have some wisdom. You have to slow down and think about it. Sometimes you take decision against your desire. But at the end of the day, for the bigger gain, it is better for you. And also, whenever you have that debate between your desire and your aql, Look at the world around you. For sure, your situation was experienced by people before. Read the Quran, look at the Sunnah, ask wiser, older people of expertise, and they try to analyze the situation. If I follow my desire now and eat that plate, or do that act, or say this word, or be in that gathering, what's going to happen next? And then if that happens, then what happened next? This is in the community level or in your individual level. Then when I die, when I stand in front of Allah on the day of judgment, how I'm going to answer? Now, if I use my mind and don't act upon this, what's going to happen? Did I save myself? Did I lose something good? Was the bad? Was the bad more or the good more? And that conversation should be continuous. Right? Normally, you look at your life and you will see most of your wrong decisions, there's some desire in it. Some desire in it. I'm not saying that you rushed or you did not take your time, but there was some desire in it that pushed you somewhere. Most of the wrong decisions. I'm not saying that they made you feel good or not. Sometimes things make you feel good for years, but they're wrong. And something that make you feel bad for years, but they're right. So it's not about what you're feeling. Sometimes a person make a major decision in his or her life, and they've been struggling and all that, but they were saved from lots of troubles that people who chose the other way are in, even though they have the apparent enjoyment or apparent luxury or whatever. And they don't have the core values that you have and you held to. You lose relationship, you lose careers, you lose jobs, not careers, but you lose job, you lose relationship, you lose friendship, you lose lots of things for holding to your values, because you did not follow the desire. Your desire was to stay, your desire was to achieve certain things, but you analyzed things and you reached at the end to stay with the right way. Some poets said, كم لذة مستفزة فرحا قد انجلت عن غموم آفاتي كم شهوات سلبنا صاحبها ثوب الديانات والمروءات. And how many lusts that brought happiness, temporary happiness, after which an imminent misery and bad feeling persisted. How many lusts stole from the person that enjoyed them the garment of dignity and religion. Even when a person, Ibn Jawzi says something very subtle here. He says, even if a person followed their desire, and even if it was not harmed by their desire, there is some innate feeling there that they were weak. Even if they followed their desire. Like, I'll give you an example. Many of you maybe love ice cream. I don't much, but my kids do, but love ice cream so much. You say, okay, I want to treat myself to that ice cream. It's expensive and it's from a professional place, all of that, and you want to experience. But you can get a meal with that. You can, do something good, better with it. But then it keeps pushing you. You keep itching day after day, passing by that, specialty, nice brand ice cream store, and the end you went and you enjoyed the ice cream. We're happy, oh man, that's so sweet, that's so good. Enjoy it. But inside of you, there's something like itching you inside there. You're weak. How come you could not resist? Keeps itching you until you fulfill your desire. There's something inside. Even after 1 year, you said, man, I could not resist that thing. Even when you are laughing, said, man, I couldn't resist that, eating that. You see that word itself, you are saying I was weak. I could not resist means I was weak. So even if a person follows their desire, at the end of the day, so what is the strength that a person did not follow their desire? Even though they lost something, but there is something internal also telling them that, you're in control. While everybody was rushing to it, they were in control. I remember one time we were in Hajj, yeah, I don't remember Hajj or Umrah. I don't remember. But we were in the middle of Uhud in Medina with the group that I was with. But then I found it a huge group on the other side of the mountain of the archers, where we were standing and doing some explanation. A huge group. And people are running from every group going to that group. I finished my lecture. Some of my people, out of respect, they stuck with me. But after that, they started running toward there too. So there must be a celebrity there. And actually, that was true. There was an Egyptian celebrity, someone there. And they went there to get the autograph. Hajj, we're not doing rituals of Hajj, but you understand. Everybody want to take a picture or a selfie or whatever it is. They forgot. I stood there wondering, subhanAllah, I look at this place. You spend all this money, all this time to come, and you're in the city of Rasulullah, you're in the place of Uhud, where many Muslims lost their life while the Prophet was injured. Because there is a celebrity, whoever he is, just run there and do, subhanAllah, ajib. And I stood there, and the people finished, and then, they came back, and every group came back. And the guy was coming down from the small thing with few people around him. And I said, subhanAllah. And the people went and took what they wanted and left. What did they gain from that? That shows you. I asked myself, okay, why I do not go take a picture with him too? It was in my head, why? What's wrong with that? I didn't. Even though there was something inside of me saying, what is wrong with it? It's like, how many times you're going to meet this guy? At least, you document this. Then I asked myself, so why should I document it? He's another human being. He's alone now. He's going to be alone when he dies, and I'm going to be alone when I die. And what is the benefit that I'm going to get by taking a picture with him? He might be a very good guy. Don't get me wrong. But I asked myself, of course, what's the benefit from that? Is the only reason I'm going to go there because he's a celebrity? Because I want to take a picture with him like everybody else? No, I don't. Too. But inside of you, there is that feeling of self-control when you succeed, and that feeling of weakness when you fail, when it comes to your desire. The fourth section is دفع العشق عن النفس. So the ishq is that extreme addictive love that makes you, that it paralyzes your ability to see and rationalize. هذا العشق. Hope you can love somebody, but you're rationalizing, you're mad at them sometimes, they do something but ishq, whatever they do, even if they slap you, you still love them. Even if they desert you, you're still in love with them. That is ishq. Ishq means the mind is absent now. Person becomes like not a slave, but something in the hand of the person that they have ishq to. They can do whatever they want with them, and they surrender. That's called ishq. And that ishq is a dangerous state of love. Some people used to die out of ishq. Die means die. They die. I'm not saying it figuratively. They love someone so much. They couldn't get them, so they commit suicide, or they die. They don't eat, they don't drink, they cannot sleep until they die. Al-ishq is absence of mind when somebody loves. That's why Ibn Jawzi said, and this is a disease that caused the demise of many people. that they lost their physical ability or they lost their religions. And someone have ishq to someone else, they abandon their religion. They abandon their principles. They abandon their values. There are levels. Some people, they lose their lives. Some people, they lose their health. Some people, they lose their aqidah religion. Some people lose their practice. Some people lose their values. They lose their humanity for the ishq of someone. So Ibn al-Jawzi said in his book, The Criticism of Hawa or Desire, Dhamm al-Hawa, he said, I mentioned lots and lots of remedies for ishq, but he said, I'm going to mention here some of it. He said, preventive medicine from that disease is lowering the gaze and stopping the harm. The minute you see that you are going to harm someone physically, or by touch, or by gesture, or by words, stop yourself, close the door. Don't harm others. We're not talking about defending yourself against the harm of others. We're not saying that. We're not saying that somebody's transgressing you and you're getting your right back. We're not saying that. We're saying that you are about to transgress now by backbiting someone or insulting someone or putting someone down. I'm going to show them their place, or without any justification, or looking down upon someone, or you start feeling that you are better than someone and you are going to look down upon them. That you stop yourself, you take yourself, sit in a corner, do something, but stop yourself from that. Kaff al-adha. The best sadaqah you give to yourself is to stop yourself from harming others. And lowering the gaze, not to look in the haram. That's preventive medicine from ishq. That is preventive medicine from ishq. Now, if a person left things mixing up, they're looking left and right, they're doing good and bad, they are saying whatever without control, that takhlit, that mix is going to make that virus come to you without even knowing, without even feeling it. And it will happen according to the way that you mix things. You talk more about others and backbiting and lying and then that ishq can come to you from where you not expect, because your defense mechanism, they are down. Your defense mechanism are down. Now, somebody come and say, lowering the gaze, what? Just looking at something will cause ishq? No. Repeating that, it weakens you one time after the other. Ishq not necessarily of one person. Like a man, he keeps looking at women all the time. Whenever a woman is not dressed properly, he looks and he looks and he looks until he develops that ishq to look at that. He cannot resist. It gives an enjoyment, a lust of some type. A woman, the same thing. Now it can be a specific person, a specific category of people. You'll find now teenagers, they don't have shame. They said, oh, I love those who are dark. I love those who are white. I love those who are like that. Oh, he is hot or she is hot. You hear that from kids, subhanAllah, even as a joke. That is a sign that it is going to come. If that person focus on that and not being corrected, it is going to come. They're going to fall in ishq or love of that specific format. They call it ishq as-surah. Ishq as-surah. And somebody loves the body of someone. They love the body. It's a worship of the physique or the body of the person. That flesh aspect of it. Whether a woman to a man because he's tall or he's muscular, his body, whatever it is, her favorite type, or a woman, same thing. She has this size or that size, or she's just his shape, or part of her body that he likes, and all of that. He develops ishq to that aspect, and they become like a worshipper of that, and that's very dangerous. May Allah save us, subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you don't want to reach to that level. It is beyond happiness. It is beyond just love and enjoyment. It is beyond that now. It is becoming like the heart is attached, the eye is attached, and that person becomes like a slave to that. So just lowering the gaze stops that from beginning, like 1,000 miles away. Okay? You're stopping like 1,000 miles away. That's the door, that's the gate, that's the key. So don't say that lowering the gaze, what is going to happen to ishq? لا, ما ishq is at the end of the road, and there is one road there. So you don't want to step a foot in there. Okay? Somebody can say that, okay, what is this in social involvement and backbiting and all that causing ishq? As I said, you are not in self-control. So your defense are down. And you're talking this and that. It just takes one person who is more powerful than you that you become subjugated to. And then you develop ishq too. That's a problem. But if you are restraining yourself from become stronger now, if some lust or something comes, you said, no, I can control myself. I'm not going to fall into that. Right? Youth, lust, money, time, all those are factors that will activate or will expedite the stage of ishq. Youth, the power, the energy, the physical aspect of it. Money, the means. Person can access things, can have cars, can have a house, can have drinks, can have food, can have things like that. Money. Time. When a person has time and doesn't have assignment, doesn't get themselves busy with things, now they want to fill that time with something. Having resources or authority. It corrupts as well. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud one time, he said to youth, if you look to a woman in a lustful way, remember her shortcomings. Remember, like, oh, she could be loud, oh, she could reject me, or she could say this, or she could be that, or she's dressed like that she's not practicing, she's not good. So like it's a way to cope with the situation. If a person have that ishq, physical, sexual lust, and the nikah is available, that would be a good cure. Nikah is available. That would be a good cure. If a woman is married and she develop ishq to another guy, cannot do that. Or a man develop ishq to a woman who is married, that's not right. But if nikah is available, both available, alhamdulillah, that would be a way to extinguish that fire. Right? He said visiting the graves is a good way. Remembering death is a good way. Visiting sick people is a good way to cure this slavery or being enslaved to lust. Remember death, visit the graves, visit sick people, see people who are less fortunate, help them out. Read in the books of zuhd. Zuhd means, dissociation with dunya, working on your spiritual aspect and side. Look at yourself, how young you were, and now you are not young anymore. Look at the shortcomings of things. Look at the repercussions of what you are about to do. This all will save you from that. And sometimes the lust is deviated. It is not lust from a man to a woman, or from a woman to a man. It can be a lust from a man to a man, or a woman to a woman, or pedophilia, or something like that. Those are based on lusts. And anybody say otherwise is wrong. This is a lust. We're not saying people will not have lust, deviated lust. They do. But do they act upon it or not? That is what counts. When somebody said, oh, I feel attracted to the same gender. So this is a test from Rabbil Alameen subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is like somebody attracted to haram women or haram men that they cannot have. Or somebody have like incest or, haram. They have lust toward their muhram family members. All of these are deviations. We're talking about it as diseases. So don't try to justify it and say that is natural. It's not natural. Natural is Adam and Hawa, a man and a woman. Allah did not create two men or two women. Allah created a man and a woman, they desire each other. And it continued like that until Qawm Lut comes. And nobody can say that it happened before Qawm Lut. That's wrong. Because Allah says in the Quran, Lut alayhi salam said, مَا سَبَقَكُمْ بِهَا مِنْ أَحَدٍ مِنْ تَأْتُونَ الْفَاحِشَةَ مَا سَبَقَكُمْ بِهَا. You are doing the haram, men with men, and women with women, that nobody from al-Alameen did before you. Nobody from this world did that before you. So you're the first. And it's not justified. Even when you have that desire. It's like a person have a desire. A man, he wants to be with a different woman every day. Is he allowed to do that though? In haram? No. A man married 4 wives and want to have the 5th? No. A man desiring his mother or his mother, it's sick. I know it is sick. It is a disease, but it is there. It's a disease. We're not saying it's okay to have the disease. And we cannot justify and say this is a natural thing. When is it okay to act upon every natural thing? When they say homosexuality is a natural thing, okay, pedophilia, then it's a natural thing too. I'm not saying it is, but why people would say no? We can make an age for it. 9, 10, 11 years old, it's okay. Because that was the age of marriage 100 years ago. So not considered pedophilia, but everyone said, oh, disgusted. So what make you disgusted? Because that's what we agreed on as a disgusting thing. So nobody wants to do. But same thing, homosexuality was disgusting 50 years ago or 70 years ago. But it is not now. Why? Because people are not following the divine. People are not following the universal core values that come from God. That is the only way that everybody who believes in God should believe in. And that's it. So it's either you do a core value that you're going to compromise, or you're going to do a core value that you're not going to compromise. And what makes you not compromise a core value is because the same God, the same worship, same way. You deviate from God, your core value will change. You do core value not because of God, they're going to change. And that's it. Sometimes it's a deviated shahwa. A person also will double self-control. As I said, when you're fasting, you are restraining yourself from a halal lust. Halal lust. A man cannot be with his wife. A wife cannot be with her man sexually during the day of Ramadan. That is a halal lust, but it becomes forbidden on them. Now, they should prevent themselves from haram lust as well. That is one effort. Now, if it is deviated lust, that is 2 now. 2 steps. Having a lust and it is deviated. So deviated because there is no way to do it in halal. Like a husband and wife, they can do it in halal after iftar or while they are not fasting. So there is an alternative. But a deviated lust, you are not supposed to be lustful, period. Because even if you have, there is no way for it to be halal. I hope you understand. If a man and a woman have lust to each other, what are they prohibited from here is to act upon that lust in haram, in zina. But can they get married if they are permissible for each other? Yeah. So there is an option here. We're telling them, don't be lustful and act upon it in haram. But it's okay to act upon it in haram and halal, and this lust will be extinguished and it will be channeled in the proper way. So that's a solution here. But if the lust is deviated, then you are telling them, no, you have to quit that lust altogether. There is no way for you to act actually upon it. So you have to live with it, being controlled. That is double the effort. But there is no justification. The 5th section, is دفع الشره. That addiction to things. People are addicted to food, people are addicted to sex, people are addicted to sleeping, people are addicted to different things, especially physical lusts like food and sexual needs. Some people have addictions to it. Addiction, yeah. People cannot resist food. They will eat. Even when they are suffering, when they are struggling, when they have stomach ache, when they have heartburn, or have things like that, they are eating while they are being tortured from inside. That's called shara, and they want this and they want this. People over there, they go to the open buffet and fill a plate that I don't think two people can eat that. But that's like, I want more. I want more. That's the greed part of it. And that is driven by al-hawa, by desire. It's like desire leads to ishq for people. Shara leads to addiction to things. So ishq to men, shara to things. Somebody loves dessert. They'll die. Their diabetes was, he said, I'll take the injection, then I'll eat the gulab jamun, I'm going to eat the kunafa or the thing there. You're going to die. He said, I'll eat it now and we'll figure it out later. You see, that's called sharah, yani. They want more of it. Right? One of the wise people, he said, what killed most of the people is bringing food over food, meaning you eating before you get rid of the previous meal. This 3-meal plan thing every day. Who invented that, actually? Who invented that? You can eat 6 times a day. That's all right. If you're hungry, you can eat 2 times a day because you're not hungry. You can eat 1 time a day because it's enough for you. You're not doing enough effort to burn that. Yeah. So eat when you get hungry, and you eat only according to what your need is. But people eat breakfast. Then, okay, while you're eating breakfast, what are we going to cook for lunch today? You're like, you're eating, for God's sake. Like what? And we should eat this tomorrow. We should eat this next week. Akhi, subhanallah, yani, amazing. And then, you eat like in the morning, very good breakfast. And then, okay, let's lunch hour. You go buy food. Are you hungry? No, just lunch hour. I have to buy something. Why? Why? So that is what kills people, when the food comes over food. And before, they used to hate overweight, being overweight. Imam Shafi'i, just to give you a depiction of what his time was. Imam Shafi'i, he studied with one of the students of Abu Hanifa, Muhammad ibn Hassan. Muhammad ibn Hassan was a big guy. And that was something rare in their time. And he was overweight, fat. But Imam Shafi'i was very slim. And in his time, there were lots of people who are overweight. Imam Shafi'i said a very amazing sentence. He said, I never seen in my life someone overweight who have intellect that benefits from it, except Muhammad ibn Hassan. For him, at his time, being overweight is a sign that that person is not using their intellect properly. Because if they're using intellect properly, they will know they need health. But at their time, it was okay for women to be, mashallah, yani. It was all right. It was a sign of beauty that a woman, mashallah, is well fed and eating and healthy and all of that, and she would get pregnant and all that when she is not thin. What we call now, she's slim and petite and pretty and all of that, that was a sign of disease all the time. Like when a woman like that, like thin and all that is no good. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying that how the standards are changing. Like that woman, no. She cannot help. She cannot, bear children and all that. I'm not saying that it's their time. That was the assumption. So the women have to be like, well, heavy set. But for a man to be heavy set, that was kind of like something not good. So opposite each other. So Imam Shafi was talking about men. He said, I did not see a man who benefit from his intellect, who has intellect, and he benefit from it while being overweight, except Muhammad bin Hassan. All his life, he didn't see someone like that, except this one. So there was an exception. Sayyidina Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan was a heavy set Sahabi of Rasulullah, great Sahabi of Rasulullah. It was known that he was an amazing intellectual person. Okay, so eating to the level beyond, you are just eating to enjoy food. That's a sign of no good. This is not good. That's a sign of overeating and being lustful toward food. One time a person, he said that I entered the presence of Al-Hasan al-Basri. Hasan al-Basri, one of the great tabi'in. He said, I saw him, he was eating his lunch. So Al-Hasan told him, come eat. Like you would say to anybody, like when they come and you're eating, he said, Bismillah, come join me. So he told them, join me. He told them, Wallah, I ate until I cannot find any place. Hasan said, wow, Ajib. Are there people who eat until they find no place? That means you are eating while you're full. If you cannot find a place for food, that means you kept eating beyond your needs. So Al-Hasan was kind of like, amazed with that. And they used to consider burping out after drinking or eating is a sign of overdoing it. Now there are medical reasons and all of that. Then Ibn Jawzi said after that, he said that al-aqil, a person with aql, a person with intellect, a person with a brain, he eats to live, but the ignorant one is living to eat. Living to eat. Let's explore this. Let's go eat here. What is this your life? This is what it's about? So people before, they used to say there is a bounty or a status or a benefit of being hungry. There's lots of disadvantages of being full. Lots of disadvantage. So that's why it's self-control. When you come to food and sexual desires, a person has to hold themselves and train themselves to have restraint and self-control. When they want it the most, they're supposed to stop themselves, so they will do it properly. Inshallah, next time we are going to talk about also being addicted to collecting money. That shirah or addiction or the love of and the greed of having things, not only with money, with food and sexual desire, but it's also with collecting money and authority and positions and all of that. May Allah make us among those who are satisfied with what Allah gave us, and may Allah make us among those who do not follow their lusts and their desires. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla make us among those who use their lusts and desires in a way that we are permitted and in the way that ends up with pleasing Allah Azza wa Jalla. Sallallahu sallam wa baraka ala Sayyidina Muhammad walhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Any question?
My question is, do we need to control all of the desires? Is there any good desire? For example, if we have desire to expand business, after 3 stores, we want 4 or 5 and more. or in gardening, I grow veggies. After I have 3 kind of veggies and successful, I want to try more. I want to grow some more veggies like I never tried before. So I spend a lot of time in the garden. So my question, like, what kind of desire we should control and make it less desire?
Mm.
Thank
Well, it's very clear. That's why I said in the beginning of the lecture that you have to debate with yourself what is the benefit and what are the disadvantage. If you are doing gardening, there is a benefit. There is a health benefit. You are exercising. You are filling your time with something beneficial. You have green, thumb. You are growing vegetable. You're growing even flowers. Makes people look at it and feel good about it. It's not haram. It is permissible. The only thing, if it's going to distract you from you doing your prayers on time, if it's going to distract you from fulfilling your duties toward your husband, then it's going to become bad. But it is good in general. So that's not what we're talking about. You want to expand your business. Lots of people will work. Lots of people will benefit. The economy will benefit from it. You will benefit from it. You're stabilizing your life, and trading is a good thing. Business is a good thing. So this is not, but it's going to be haram if the business is going to make you sacrifice spending time with your family, doing your duties, not doing your salah, not praying, not doing like the good things. Then that part of the business that it is making you busy. Even relationship with husband and wife and children. Allah said if it's going to distract you from what you're supposed to do, they become your enemies. Your spouse and your children become your enemies if they are going to distract you. So desiring what is permissible within reason and with benefit, no problem. If you're going to eat and you have different types of food, but you are eating only according to your need, no problem. But if you are doing that, then you throw it in the trash and all of that, that's not good. And if you're desiring and eating food that causing you health problems and cannot sleep and you are having trouble and all that, then this is not good. So the desire that have a negative effect on you is the desire that needs to be controlled. Desire that is not beneficial to you, that is the desire that you need to abandon. I hope that was clear.
Yes, Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
I love gardening too, by the way. Yeah, it's very, very, very fulfilling and very good. Even though you can buy the tomatoes and the pepper and everything from the groceries, and you can spend the whole season, getting 2 pounds of something that you can just get in 5 minutes, but it means something. It is good.
Right.
It's good. You connect, and it is farming is something good that Allah praised in the Quran. It makes you see the wisdom of Allah from the seed to the plant to the fruit to be dry. That's something to reflect on. It's good, So there's nothing wrong about it, except as I said, if it make you compromise your duties and your
Maybe we have to about time here because I spend a lot of time in the garden.
Then you have to cut that down if you need to spend the time in something that it's a duty on you. If it is not, alhamdulillah, it's better than spending it in something wrong,
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Jazakumullah khair. Please, Sister Siti, I did not record today, so I'd appreciate it if you send me the audio recording only, so I do the summary, inshallah.
Inshallah, when it's ready, I send it to you.
Okay. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakumullah
وعليكم
khair.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته شيخ.
Ameen.